It's 3:07 a.m. in a Chicago warehouse. Maria, a night shift logistics coordinator, stares at her screen, phone wedged between her ear and shoulder. A truckload of critical parts is stuck at a flooded border checkpoint. If she can't reroute the shipment now, the production line halts by morning. Every second, every route option, every contact on her list matters, because right now, the only thing standing between chaos and continuity is her. Fast forward to 10:15 a.m., corporate HQ. Coffee cups clink in a sleek glass conference room as the product strategy team debates customer feedback. People love the product, but they want longer battery life, a better camera, more color options. A manager suggests switching to a newer, more expensive battery. Someone else counters with a redesign idea. Nobody's thinking about delivery trucks or part suppliers. They're thinking, what makes this worth it to the customer? And right there is the difference. Welcome back to Daily Logistics, where we unpack the engines behind global trade and operations. Today's topic? A question that confuses even seasoned professionals. What's the difference between a supply chain and a value chain? On the surface, they might look the same, both trace the journey of a product. But under the hood, one asks, how do we move it efficiently? The other? How do we make it worth something to the customer? Stick around, because by the end of this video, you'll not only understand the difference, you'll start seeing your own work in a whole new way. Let's break it down by mindset. In Maria's 3 a.m. world, success means trucks are moving, goods are flowing, and delays are avoided like the plague. This is the supply chain, the system that makes, moves, stores, and delivers products. It's the hidden machinery of global commerce, efficient, precise, unrelenting. But what about that conference room debate at 10:15 a.m.? That's the value chain in action. Every conversation, every design tweak, every dollar added to production is one more way to answer the question, will the customer find this valuable? So here's the big idea. The supply chain is about execution. The value chain is about intention. Supply chain gets the product to the customer. Value chain makes the product worth buying in the first place. Now, let's bring this to life with some real examples. Take Apple. Their supply chain? Surgical in precision. They don't build their own chips or assemble iPhones in California. They work with partners, Foxconn, TSMC, Corning, to make sure every component shows up on time and every launch delivers millions of units to stores worldwide. It's a logistics masterpiece. But that's just half the story. Apple's value chain begins way before the first part is shipped. It starts in a design room with whiteboards full of user needs. It flows through R&D, packaging, store layout, the genius bar. That feeling you get when you hold an iPhone? That's not logistics. That's intentional value creation. Now Amazon. Their supply chain is one of the most aggressive the world has ever seen. Fulfillment centers the size of football stadiums, robotic arms moving shelves, planes, trucks, delivery vans, all synchronized by algorithms that predict what you'll order before you even hit buy. But their value chain? It's your experience. One-click checkout, customer reviews, Prime membership, effortless returns, the feeling of control. That's what makes Amazon, Amazon. Here's the twist. These companies win because they do both. They don't just ship fast. They ship what you want, how you want, and when you want it, at scale. Now think Tesla. Most car makers outsource half their innovation. Tesla? They brought battery production in-house, wrote their own software, opened their own stores. Why? Because every point of the process, from raw materials to over-the-air updates, adds to the customer's perception of value. It's hard, it's expensive, but it works. Now ask yourself, what if Tesla had an amazing design, but deliveries took 6 months? Or what if Apple built a fast phone, but the camera was bad? That's the trap. Without supply chain, value can't reach the customer. Without value chain, supply chain just delivers stuff. So how do you know which lens to use? If you're asking, How do I deliver this cheaper, faster, safer? You're thinking supply chain. If you're asking, what will make the customer love this and pay for it? You're in value chain territory. And here's the key. They're not enemies. They're co-pilots. Quick pause. If you've ever worked in operations, marketing, sales, or product, think back. Have you ever seen a debate where one side wants to add features and the other says, that'll mess up the supply chain? That's this conflict in real time. Let me know in the comments. Have you ever had to balance cost versus value in your job? We'd love to hear your story, and we read every comment. So how does this affect your career? Let's say you're just starting out. You might be a logistics coordinator, a dispatcher, a demand planner. That's supply chain. Your world is lead times, load boards, and delivery windows. It's high pressure, but when you solve a logistics bottleneck, you're the unsung hero. But maybe you're in branding or product development or customer service. That's value chain work. You're shaping the customer's journey, the part they see and feel. You're not just making products. You're making products matter. Eventually, if you move up the ladder, the wall between supply and value disappears. A good COO knows customer experience matters. A good CMO knows delays kill campaigns. A good CEO aligns both. Because the most powerful companies in the world today, they don't just have fast logistics, they have smart strategy, emotional value, and operational firepower. That's what the best supply chains deliver, not just boxes, but promises. So the next time you hear someone say supply chain or value chain, don't just nod. Ask yourself, who's the hero of this story? The company or the customer? That one question reveals the real difference. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to subscribe to Daily Logistics. We break down the invisible systems that run the world, from trucking and warehousing to global trade and automation. And hey, if you've got a logistics tale to tell or a supply vs value story to share, the comments are wide open. Let's make this a real community for freight thinkers, ops lovers, and curious minds. Till next time, keep moving smart and adding value. This is Daily Logistics. See you on the road.